सो हामी चाहिँ रिजोर्टबाट 10 बजे चेकआउट गरेर अहिले चाहिँ यता सवन हिल घुम्न आएका छौँ। सो मम्मी ड्याडीहरूलाई सवन हिल घुमाएर अनि गोल्ड माइनको टुर पनि दिनेछौँ। सो अहिले चाहिँ हामी सवन हिलको पार्किङ एरियामा छौँ अनि अहिले चाहिँ हामी सवन हिल एन्ट्रीमा जाँदैछौँ है त।
Yeah. They would be going around and pulling barrels similar to that one. The miners could only manage one at a time, but horses like Boss could do 2 or more, making work much more efficient and carrying all the rock and quartz out of the mines.
Okay. Batka, Luka. Mas dona thôi, luôn đi đây đi không được. Đi đây nào, thật rồi. Đi đây, đây. Ano? Naglubig.
Kakalagay diya. Kaya
Kaya si Hong tali zaman na mo di kan.
Kaya pumuntahan si Zia daw dito. Untuk perasaan untuk kalau kemana? Untuk kalau.
No?
Untuk.
Dekat.
Making a hole here to work.
Caca ada persikai gitu.
Yeah. That's a gold nugget. A little nugget.
Oh yeah.
That's gold that's come out of this actual creek. See? See all the gold? That's
all the gold.
Pure gold. That's come out of this creek. Righto, now, I look for gold when I get that down to half a teaspoonful. The gold will be underneath that last half a teaspoonful. Right? Now, I stick the pan in the water.
Yeah.
Close enough. Water will do the work. All I'm doing this, the gold will move towards the bottom. Rubbish will come out the top. Just keep going steadily into the stage. Now, if I'm a bit vigorous with the pan, the gold will be trapped away that groove, but otherwise it'll be sitting down on the bottom. Don't need to be running fingers through it while it's in the pan. In the movies, they're only breaking up lumps of clay. We've got no flow here, so.
खालको टिफन छ Oh yeah.
We'll go.
Yeah.
Right, now let's stand up here.
They don't want like that.
Now, you want to go and buy a little bottle
Yeah.
like that. $1.50 up there at the water store. Bring it back. I'll put this gold in it for you, right? All those little bits there.
How do you get that with the?
How do
How do you get it like with water?
take the lid off the bottle, dry your finger, just touch the gold, just touch it, touch the water, gold drops down, you dry your finger and get the next bit. But if you go and buy a little bottle, I'll put the gold in it for you.
Cool.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay?
Botol kaannya malah.
$1.50.
Awak ni, mana lah?
Oh.
Ni.
It's really important for us to have.
Is it still running at the moment?
So this one, it's technically yes, it's just running on electricity. Back in the day though, it would have been run on steam.
Steam.
So, yeah. Down and 53 on the way up. That's just because we're on a hill. Now the tour itself, it's about 12 minutes long and it is self-guided, so I won't actually be there with you. Instead, you'll have an audio guide. His name is William. Halfway through the tour, you'll notice that there's a big water curtain, so water's going to come down from the ceiling. Just make sure you stay a bit behind it, don't move any further until William says, because you'll get wet otherwise. Now towards the end of the tour, you'll notice that there's a big safe on the wall, so just make sure you stay in front.
Kita nak game ah. Lu yang jawab apa? Lu lihat aku ni. Lu jawab ni ada je lah. तो कुछ बाहर ले आता है स्वान तकते हैं जुने पत्ते हैं
There's a time I wish to be dead. Sooner, work for miserable pennies in this awful place.
Pretty well done.
Must find gold soon. Pay for trouble and expense. Bloody water. Filthy slush. Never ending. Look at it. my life. It's so cold. I know it. I know it. There it is. There it bloody is! There it is! Look at it! It's a miracle! A bloody miracle! Boys! Boys, come quick! I found one bigger than a house! Boys! Come and lend me a hand and you can get it out! Oh, yes! Yes! Catch it, Jeffrey! What's happened? Oh, that's your whistle! What? Look, boy, look! Oh, dear life! I never seen such a sight, never! More than 2,000 ounces in it! About 10,000 pounds, I bet! 10,000 pounds! We're all rich! No money for us to be called chicken and that. Oh, say, you're it, Jeffrey. Gentlemen, yes! This way.
No, no,
Now,
no.
this way.
This is what mate. All over the light. मतलब घुमा गया
was named a welcome nugget. Found at a depth of 60 meters and weighing almost 69.
Kayak malu nasa. Lu kayak tidak biasa. Jaga-jaga kayak gitu.
सो हामी चाहिँ भर्खर माइन टुर गरेर आयौँ ठिकै छ हैन मम्मी ड्याडीहरूलाई देखाउन चाहिँ एकदमै राम्रो छ सो हामीले चाहिँ ठुलो गोल नगेट पनि देख्यौँ हैन सही चाहिँ हामी एकछिन अब एक्सप्लोर गर्नेछौँ
separate a lot of the impurities out. Not necessarily the metal impurities, but other physical impurities. Because now there were two, because we're into a period now where most miners are just working for wages for companies. But there were two types of big company mines. There was what's known as a deep lead mine, and the deep lead mines were mining out the old riverbeds deep underground. So the old rivers used to run at the surface and generated vast amounts of now, but then they would gradually get buried over hundreds of years. Now, mine them out of the
Every time. My name's Kate. I'm one of the gold pourers here at Sun Khani. This building is called the Gold Smelting Works, and we are part of the surface operations for the company quartz mine just further up the hill there. So we work for them. My job in here today is to explain to you what this role was, why they were doing it, what its purpose was during this period of time, and also where the gold has been before it got to us here. While I'm talking for about 10 minutes, I do have some gold back in the furnace melting away. When it's ready to go, I'll be able to pour that for you just at the end there. So that is the coolest part, so if you can bear with me through the talking, we'll get there. Very quickly, I do just like to address, this is not obviously something I would have been doing during this period of time in the early 1900s, from 1861 onwards really, but in 2024 I am fortunate enough to be able to show you what this looks like. I am called a mine blacksmith or an industrial blacksmith. We tend to call them industrial blacksmiths here in this region, and we are very different to the other kinds of blacksmith that you will meet around Sovereign Hill. The main difference being that we don't make anything. So we're not making shoes for horses, we are not making tools or equipment for miners, we're not even really fixing anything in here. Our job in the gold smelting works is simply to purify and pour gold. And what we mean when we say purify gold is that no matter where you find gold anywhere in the world, it will never come out of the ground 100% pure solid gold. That just doesn't exist. Your gold will always be mixed in with other elements, or what we call impurities. And the common ones for us here in Ballarat are silver, copper and iron, and various other trace elements as well. Those things actually bring the quality or the purity of the gold down. So if we can find a way to remove those impurities from the gold, we can actually improve the value of the gold. We can make it worth more money for the company. We can't do a whole lot about the weight, however much gold they're bringing up is what they're bringing up, but we can improve the quality. So that is our role. As the gold comes up from underground, it goes through a bit of a process which I'll talk you through in a moment. Once it gets to us, we are smelting it and melting it down. We are separating the gold from everything else that's mixed in with it, pouring it into a nice tidy anywhere in the world. It sits at about 92% gold, which is about 22 carats for context. It doesn't take a whole lot of extra time or effort to get it from 22 to 24, so not a huge leap, but the profit margin is quite significant, so we'll do the process anyway. This gold is the kind of gold that is trapped inside quartz rock. So we're hard rock mining or quartz mining, which didn't actually exist in Ballarat for the first 10 years of our gold rush. If you were here in the first 10 years from 1851 to 1861, you would have been using methods of alluvial mining in smaller groups. That will be 3 kilograms or 99.99% pure 24 karat gold, worth more to the company than when it arrived here in this building. That's our mold there. Now gold does melt at 1064 degrees, which it has done already. I just left it a little bit longer. We go up to about 1300. The reason we do that, you will be able to see with your own eyes in just a moment. As soon as this gold leaves the furnace, it will drop rapidly about 500 degrees before we hit the table. I don't want it to turn back into a solid before it's poured, so that's why we just take it a little bit hotter to give ourselves time to do that before it does set again. But you'll see how quick that transition is right now. Now there's no temperature gauge back here, it's all guesswork, but gold does behave differently to other liquids. So there's a few clues that it is giving me that it's hot enough. The way it vibrates, the colour change, that sort of thing. Of gold is that it can't really radiate heat very well at all. As long as it's touching something to be able to conduct heat away from itself, it can cool down. Between here and right now it's still touching something, so it's rapidly dropping temperature or conducting that heat away, and it's actually set back into a solid there. As soon as I bring it out though, it's going to stop dropping temperature and it will sit at about 800 degrees. Here we go. So, obviously cool enough to set, not cool enough to pick up yet. It will stay about 800 degrees. The only spot it's touching is on the bottom slightly. So it's really lost that ability to remove its own heat. This is what it would look like if you tried to pick it up now. So very, very hot. If we had 5 hours, I could help it cool down by keeping that stick there and just giving it an outlet to remove all of that heat. But it is a company and time is money, of course. We don't have 5 hours. What we do have is our knowledge of steam power to speed that process up. Now we very intentionally leave the top of the water line just below the top of the gold bar there. This is basic science. If we covered that gold bar that was 800 to 900 degrees in water, there would be nowhere for that heat to go. So that would boil like a kettle. It'd be 900 degrees trapped underwater. But as long as you give the top of the bar room to remove that heat as steam, which you just watched happen, then theoretically this water should be cold. What do we think?
Cool.
Like science. No? You should. Good at it. There you go. So that one's gone from about 900 degrees to a comfortable 9 or 10. That's perfectly safe for me to pick up now, and that one's all finished.
How much does it weigh?
It's 3 kilograms, so our mold will make about 3 kilograms, and those are the standard size molds. Equals about 100 troy ounces, which is slightly different to a normal ounce. And it is very real. So it's pure 24 karat gold, 99.99% pure. Yeah. I'll stand over here then. It is real. We can't replicate that process with anything that's not real gold. The thing about about this bar though is that in the 1800s, early 1900s, we would need to cold stamp that now. So take it next door and stamp it with all the information that you need. So the company logo, its weight, its quality. It would
bowling's free. The only thing we ask is that you just reset it to how it is at the start.
Yeah.
So just make sure everything's back where it was in the first place. So this is very similar to modern day temple bowling. There hasn't been a whole lot that has changed in terms of the fundamentals. The differences are these are solid wood balls, so there are no holes, and they're a bit heavier than some people might expect. So just be careful and mindful that obviously it's a little bit different. There's actually it's about twice as long as a modern lane. There's 9 pins right at the end, and the pins are set up in these little divots, and you just need to set them up in a diamond formation. You can see just up here, what it should look like. So the idea is you just want to stand at this red line here, and you just want to bowl, bend your knees a bit, and bowl between your legs like that. Hopefully it'll knock some pins over, just reset them. And then right at the end of this shoot, you put it down there, give it a push, and it'll come all the way back to the start. That's pretty.
गोल है 4 से मुआमस सोचो ये सेकंड मिलियर था लागे अहिले चाहिँ हामी घुमेर थाकित भएर यहाँ आइसकेको छौँ सकेर सो घुमेर सक्यो होइन गुड घुम्नु चाहिँ ठिकै छ होइन टुर माइन्ड पनि ठिकै छ सो अहिले चाहिँ हामी थाकिसक्यो आई डोन्ट थिङ्क वी गना गो इन नेक्स्ट स्पट बोटानिकल गार्डन जाने प्लान त थियो तर उनीहरू लास्ट थाकित हुनु भइसक्यो सो हामी चाहिँ सिधै अब घरतिर लाग्छौँ सो I think I'll end this vlog now and thank you for watching. Okay guys, जसले सब्सक्राइब गरेको छैन प्लिज सब्सक्राइब गरिदिनु होला यस्तो सपोर्ट देखाउन लाइक सेयर त अब सधैँ छ नि होइन सो यस साइनिङ अफ